Well, ladies and gentlemen, wasn't that a fun match to watch? I enjoyed it. I'm sure you did too. I had the leaderboard up there. I'm sure everybody was enjoying looking at it. Birmingham match is still playing. They are currently at 1-1. So Birmingham took the goal back and have taken their position ahead of us back as well. It is currently in extra time. There is 2 minutes of extra time left. Are Birmingham going to keep the lead over us? And you know what? I'm starting to think that Birmingham and Wrexham are both going to be in the playoffs at the end of this season. What do you think, boys? Right, moving up the table. Hello, everyone. Hello. I started a little early. I threw up the leaderboard. Let's say hello to everybody who's here. All these weird names from YouTube are still there again. So Steve Cooper, Red Valley, local pundits here, Mertland, Crawford, Nigel Morris is a new member. Let's throw that one up. Give him a little love. Thank you, Nigel, for joining us. It helps. Who else is here? Freddie is here, telling me to turn off the mute. I wasn't muted as a mistake. I was waiting to start the show. Jeff G had the question, can we get above 10th today? We are currently 10th, and if Birmingham let in a last minute goal and lose, we will jump them into the 9th place. So no, I think we are probably going to sit in 10th. Jeremy is here, Habsification is here, Chicky Brewer is here, Nick Donlin, Kim is here, loads of people are here. Here we go. Parky just keeps on rolling. This is amazing to watch. Yep. A lot of people are going to be eating their words about Parky come the end of this season, is my feeling on it. Let's see what everybody else thinks. Bono C, we are moving up the table. Yes, we have absolutely moved up the table. We are within a 1-match result of being in the playoffs, guys. Habs says it. Here we go. Believe. I did believe, and I did say we could win this match, and I called the correct score as well, 2-0. Really enjoyed this match. It was brilliant. Everybody played their heart out. Passing was quite nice. Triangles everywhere. Couple of mistakes, but there was some lovely passing. Now, this is a function of Bristol's tactics. They often give away possession. But they're giving it away to a different type of team than us. We don't normally like possession, which was interesting. That was a discussion before the match started. How was it going to pan out with a 3-5-2 for both teams, both who like counter-attacking? But we could have had 4, 5, 6 goals today. We again did not take our chances. I was really worried that we were going to let them score and get back to 1-1. We did have a bit of a weak period in the second half at the start, but then took control again and eventually forced that second goal. So it was a fantastic result. So yes, Free Pugs is here. He is saying 7 unbeaten and 4 clean sheets in a row. Right, guys, I am going to put out the link. I would like lots of people to come in tonight because tonight is a happy night. We are going to talk positive things for the most part, because although we missed some chances and a couple of little issues here and there that we kind of know about, nothing new popped up. But let's have fun with this. Let's enjoy tonight, yeah? Jeff G. Paddy, what did you think of Maka today? Looks like he was 25 years old. I wouldn't quite say he looked 25, but he had a fantastic match. He was playing to his absolute ability. He was chasing everything down. He made some fantastic defensive plays to sneak that ball away. And he did get nice crosses in. He was on the ball quite a bit. So we played really well today. Did I not put the code in? No, I didn't. Here we go. StreamYard link in the chat now, people. So come on in and have a chat. Okay, the Birmingham match has ended 1-1 draw. It's finished. So here we go. One more time, let's have a quick look at the table. Hide this comment. So we are in 10th. The match is over with Birmingham. Birmingham keeps 9th. We are on the same points, 25 each, but they have a goal difference of +6. We have a +3. So we're there. Now, above us, we have Coventry in first with 40 points. Stoke in second with 30 points with a goal difference of +13. Middlesbrough in third now because of the goal difference of a +4. 10 points behind the leaders. Coventry still out there. They've got Charlton next, who they should be able to give another slap to, and they'll slide. Charlton will slide a little bit further down. But Middlesbrough, after taking the loss yesterday, they are now out of the automatics, just barely. Will they go on a bit of a slide now with a new manager? Interesting to see. Millwall in fourth, Ipswich Town now in fifth, and they still have a game in hand. If they win that game in hand, they'll be on 30 points. They'll be up with Stoke and Middlesbrough. Preston North End, Bristol City, Derby County, Birmingham City, and us all in the pack. Okay, first in as usual is Habs. Let's get Habs in here. Let's take that leaderboard down. Yo.
Yeah, what's going on?
I'm happy. Happy. How about you?
I am angry. I am frustrated with the way we were playing. It was not good enough.
No.
We should have done better.
We should have done better. We should have had some more earlier goals. But you know what? We took it out. That was the important thing. In the end, it kind of looked comfortable-ish. But great result at home.
No, it was a great result. I like the way we was playing as well. And the way that Broadhead scored, the way that Broadhead was playing, and the way we was playing in general, much suited the way we were playing. We was actually playing a much more. We were playing slower, but more methodical. This match, we were. It wasn't this kind of like fast pace that we was playing. And then once we got to the final third, that's when you see the tempo just go up immediately.
Yeah. I'm not totally sure we played slower. I just think we had more space, more room. And this is our kind of abilities at the moment. I did criticize Dobson a little bit in the chat, in the watch along. He did have some fantastic passes. I will give him that, but he also made some mistakes. He is not great when he ends up the front. And the ball did end up with him quite a few times, which unfortunately came to nothing. But he's a solid championship player. I just don't think ultimately he's a solid top-end championship player. But he absolutely works his heart out every time he's on the pitch.
If Dobson is able to improve his passing this season, he would be significantly more dangerous. He would be, and him being able to play up front as well, he'd be a constant threat.
Yeah, I will give him his props. He had some lovely passing today. He did have some nice passes.
He did.
But it's not absolutely consistent, and it's just his lack of finishing when he gets in those positions, and lack of that final pass as well.
Oh,
yeah,
that moment
he
scored
should have
that
scored
goal.
that. Yeah,
it was just so open for him.
So someone's hit it here. Food Bunker. Broadhead is the most dangerous man on the ball, needs to play more. What do you think of Broadhead?
Well, the thing is, today's match suited to Broadhead's play style, his style of game. So this was much more of a stronger passing game we were playing. When I say slower, it was a more controlled and more methodical play style it was. So this allowed us to do this. And plus, since Bristol were going to let us play that kind of game, we have improved better and better. Yes, we got the one or two like strange passes that got like you just think to yourself, where's that supposed to go? But overall, the first half we were just actually really both halves. I mean, when we got that first goal in, you could tell Bristol immediately started to come direct, and they were trying to do the kind of game that you would expect them to do, but they're not used to that kind of pressing.
Yeah. They're
It's
not.
not just not their
We're
game.
completely different style for them. They are set up for teams that do the passing style.
Completely, and they didn't expect us to be able to go, because when we defend hard, and they're a team that also defends hard, but they probably just don't expect us to play that kind of hardcore defense, because I mean, it's Parky. He's defense first, so
Yeah. Ceylon Bravos here says, I will say that Broadhead does cough up the ball quite a bit, but his natural ability to score easily compensates for that. Did you find Broadhead was losing the ball a lot?
no, not really. He was everywhere. He was getting the ball and he was making multiple passes with everyone else. He was building. He was part of the build-up play as well, quite a lot.
Yeah. So Broadhead versus Windass. Ceylon Bravos. I do wonder if Windass is best used as a super sub. What do you think, Broadhead or Windass? You said it was kind of about the style of this match. So what's your opinion on this one?
Well, as they say in combat sports, styles make fights. So if you've got a very particular type of style in the way you fight, it's best to use certain players for certain things. I don't think Windass, the way we use him is for a very aggressive press. So I don't know. They work very differently. They do. They're very different.
Yeah.
So maybe on certain opposition, Windass will be much more preferable than Broadhead would be. But then Broadhead would be much more preferable than Windass would be. So it really depends on who we're going up against.
Yeah. 7 games without a loss. Yeah, absolutely. And Rob
And a clean sheet.
And a clean sheet again. Rob G is kind of calling me out here. We win 2-0 and there are people moaning like fuck about individual players. Get fucked and take the win, for fuck's sake. We aren't a World Cup winning team. We are here to discuss the match, positives and negatives. There are a few little negatives that we're bringing up. We often stay here for 90 minutes or more if you have been with us before. So just chill a little bit. There's lots of positives to go through today. Lots of people talking to John in the chat. John Merrill is here and he didn't like their performance away again. That was Birmingham. So maybe we might discuss a little bit of that later. Let's see if John jumps on at the very end. But it's an away performance, so I don't know whether he watched it at home or not. Probably did. Kim, back to Broadhead. No, the ball was following Broadhead around the pitch first half anyway. The first half was excellent. We really did quite dominate them. They didn't know what was happening to them. They were not used to us. And Broadhead got a lot of space. When he was in that space for the goal, you just looked at it and said, oh, this is a shooting opportunity here. Straight into the corner. It's lovely.
It was quite far out the box as well.
It was. Yes, it was not close.
It was a nice outside box goal. So
it reminded me of some of the early goals that we got out of Windass. Windass has taken shots from kind of similar positions, though I think more on the right-hand side. But yeah, again, lovely position for a shot into the corner of the goal, and he got it. A question was asked earlier. Let me just pull it up because I started. Here.
Just look at that, John. Just listening funny.
What happened to Lewis O'Brien? He was our best player at times early in the season. Now he can't get minutes over Dobson or Thomason. He was kind of not getting minutes for the last couple of games, but tonight he was actually suspended for the yellow card he got in the last match when he came on as a sub. So I'm sure we will see him again. He is a danger. I like him playing. He has his finishing though is really bad at times. He has gotten himself into some amazing spots, but unfortunately he hasn't converted enough of them maybe. But he is absolutely a danger. So
he's such a threat. He is, and if he's not on the ball, he's there for the build-up, especially into the final third as well. He's just he just needs to be able to score. But if not, it's fine if we can get the ball to either Windass or Broadhead to be able to get that goal in or to get the assist.
Yeah. Absolutely. Let's jump back to the comments here. The chat is chatting tonight. It is flying. I'm trying to keep up with it, guys, but I am going to miss some tonight. Woody Windsor, 4 clean sheets in a row. Keep Ward out. Well, at the moment, his spot is gone. AO is keeping that spot for the moment. He has done nothing wrong in a lot of matches. So I think that's pretty clear. Right, here's John's. Watched at home and spent most of my evening screaming at the TV and Davies to stop being Parkinson and make some fucking subs. You got there in the end, you took your point, and you know what? You snuck ahead of us again, you little bollocks, yeah. Come on later if you want, and maybe we'll talk about a little bit of Birmingham, but we're having fun about Wrexham today. I'm so disappointed we didn't jump you today, John. I really am. But you know what? There's going to be a doco finish, and we're going to have to play you in the playoffs. Wait for it. It's coming. This is coming. End of the season.
Documentary versus documentary. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that? We have our perspective, and they have their perspective. And let's say we get to like a playoff final. We're in the playoff finals, and we have our perspective. They have theirs, and we're just... It's just whatever narrative comes up is going to be fueled for that.
Yeah. 2. Wow, this chat is flying, guys. So everybody in the chat and nobody new is coming in to talk to us. Come on, guys. Let me throw out the link there again. We need a few more. You're all shy. You never want to come on. Okay. Talking about Parky managing yellow cards. Yeah, we don't want multiple players going out at the same time. Interesting that Dobson and Maka weren't getting any cards today. How do you think AO did today? Not too many challenges for him, but he had a clean sheet. The one thing we did see today, which is unusual for AO, was that weird clearance where he came outside his box and got pressure from one of our own players kind of getting in his way, and he ended up kicking it with his shin, I think, maybe was it?
Yeah, there was that moment there, but I think he's learning about that kind of style of play, because this is going to become, if you're going to become like a top end championship club, you're going to need to be able to do that kind of clearance as well, like coming out your box, and that's so common in the Premier League as well. So where goalkeepers will just come out their box, clear the ball out of the area, just to make sure they can keep the press going.
Yeah, what was interesting with that one is this is one of those situations where potentially the defender just was not expecting AO to come that far out. It's not his style. He wasn't used to it, because it is a situation where the defender should be looking up, and if the keeper is coming for it and he's going outside his box, you have to let him go for it. You have to get out of his way.
It did look like there's a bit of miscommunication.
It did look like some miscommunication there, and I think maybe it was one of those where looked up, oh shit, he's coming, it's too late to get out of the way, because he did not expect him to be that far out. So that was interesting, but look, nothing happened with it. Little mistakes happen for every player, including the keepers. Okay, Ward is a long time from returning. Yes. Hey. If you're going to say something like this, come in and tell me to my face. Right. Look at this. You're making me sit up now. It's after periodic. I can sit down however I want. Right. Paddy reminds me of that disabled, underdeveloped dude in Fury Road. Adjust your posture, Paddy. Come in and say it to my face. Come on, Rob.
Which character?
I'm not crazy familiar with Fury Road. I've seen it once or maybe twice, but I don't know the name of them anyway, certainly.
You should just like periodically just put the StreamYard tab into the chat, just periodically just keep chucking it in there. Maybe people get it there.
It's up there.
Because people forget it. Just throw it in there. Again and again.
It's vanished. Someone says the StreamYard has already vanished. Is YouTube getting rid of it?
No, because Kim did. Yeah, I can see it. but you have to keep going up. So I mean, like, just keep throwing it in there, and then maybe someone will just click it.
Oh yeah, because it's moving so fast, I guess. Yeah, it's getting lost pretty quickly. Right. Okay. Here we go. Do you know what? I probably should put in link to join. People probably don't know what it is. Join show. Okay, what do we think will happen if I just shut up and say absolutely nothing until someone joins?
I mean, I could fill the air and start singing random songs, but that wouldn't work.
Okay, wow, this chat is going crazy. Okay, AO. Katya has gone on record saying how. Oh, okay. Oh, something happened with Macca. Here you go, George Williamson. Macca's security guy went onto the pitch as well, so it must have involved a fan. That was the one I think where Parky came running over as well, and said something to Macca maybe. So,
you know what the funniest thing was? Is I was listening to the substitution for Bristol. I think it was Tozer was on there, and there was another one. I was listening to Sky Sports, and I heard they were saying, "Oh, here comes Armstrong. He's a big guy, and the defenders might want to be careful when you got him there." Most of the time, he was just on his arse. He was just slipping on his arse. He was half the time. He was, and then he got an American football tackle straight from McLean as well. Like, he was just slipping most of the time. He wasn't doing much. I was thinking, okay, this guy might be tough to get in with. He might just start pushing our defenders out the way to get a goal in, but he's just doing nothing.
oh, Brian Burton, don't get complacent. We need to sign players. Yeah, that's January. But for now, I'm more comfortable that we can survive with what we have, especially if Macca is staying to this sort of level. If he can manage this in other matches as we move forward, then that could be quite good for us. Hey, we have someone in the back, Karen. Hey, we got someone new. Hello. Oh, there you are. Welcome to the show.
Come and say nobody's going to come and talk. Dead.
Your internet is in bits, Karen.
Oh.
Maybe try it without the video.
Because we're driving.
Maybe switch off your camera. As much as I love seeing you, it will actually make it easier to connect with poor internet.
Touch it off.
So let's see if that makes it better. Okay,
is that better?
I can hear you.
Okay, so we are driving. It is a holiday in America tomorrow where you are obligated to go with all your family, no matter how freaking. We are doing that out of devotion. Elder people in our family. So watch the match on the road, and even though we had to watch on the phone.
Okay. Keep talking there between the two of you guys. I'm just checking something to bring up.
That's cool. How did you think? How did you find the match there, Karen?
Yeah, we. You say, did I catch the whole match?
Did you not catch all the match, or did you watch it all?
This sucks. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really trying. This is a sucky connection. But I just want to say, first half was awesome. Second half was great. But what can we say? I don't think it's going to.
You try and come out the link and go into it again. Give it a go.
Guys, I'm sorry. Gotta go.
Thanks, Karen. Thanks for trying.
Cheers, Karen.
Okay, I've got a video here I'm going to play in a moment. That's what I'm working on. 2 seconds, guys. Sorry for this little dead air, but I need to get this organized here for 1 second. We want to see this.
I can fill in some of the air. So, so with the match so far, this showed that we have a good passing game, and this is something we can deal. When it comes to teams who employ low blocks on us, we're starting to be able to develop in a side that is capable of breaking down low blocks, and we can break them down. And those the teams that like to go on the transition, like Bristol, we were able to come at them a lot more. The problem is they didn't have Twine today, so it may not been able to like have that much more aggressive style. But it may have been just it may just been our day. So
okay. Brian Burton is in the background. I'm going to bring him in first, and I have a video to play in a few minutes once we get around to Macca. Brian, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm driving, but I had to come in because I think I heard you say that you thought we would be okay with wingback. How?
Brian, you still there?
Oh. No, I think Brian has some issues too. Oh, such a shame tonight. I'm assuming Brian isn't happy. He was saying there, he came in because I mentioned about being okay with our wing backs. Of course, it's not a perfect scenario. My point is more that I hope we can manage, because we do have to manage. We have to last till January. We have what we have, and it's not going to change. Hopefully, Kakache will be back shortly, which will ease up on Macca. But if Macca can play the way he did tonight, then hopefully we can manage, you know. And now that we're talking about Macca, and while I'm waiting to see if Brian does come back in, by all means do come back in if you can do so safely and have internet. I have a video here that was posted that was linked to me from Mad Al. Let's have a look at it. It's about Macca and the players afterwards.
McLean, isn't it? Don't let Nathan get started on him. You guys were with before the Southampton game the night before. You with
so that was where Parky did come over towards Macca, and AO was basically acting as a reminder there for a little bit of it, trying to keep him away. Yeah, AO with the stiff arm.
That's the best I've seen us play.
Okay, so most of it happened at the start, so I'm going to play it again. So it's right at the start. Let's have a look. Yeah, Bristol City players not happy. AO pulls him away. Stiff arms the other player. Stay away.
Don't let Nathan get started on him. You guys were with before the Southampton game the night before. You with.
I think his bodyguard he was.
Good for AO to get in there and try and break that up, because obviously you don't want Macca to get into something where he gets a suspension in a situation like that, even if people are actually coming after him.
Yeah,
Josh says it here. Pains me to say, but we can't lose Macca to some stupid retroactive ban if something happens after the fact.
The thing is, though, he will fight, though. That's the thing. He knows the rules, so he always makes sure he's clever about it, and he does like to antagonize people as well. I mean, the thing is, when we won, what was it? It was on one of the Wrexham videos, and it said, "Who are you most excited to play in the championship?" And everyone's like, "Oh, we want this." They're like, I think it was like Hull or Birmingham or so, I can't remember. And McLean just goes, Millwall.
Of course he did.
Of course he did. He's the only person who would say Millwall. I'm like, who are you most excited to play? Millwall. I'm like, all right, that makes sense. He's that person that would do it.
Yeah. Mad Al there saying Parky stepping in for Jimmy. That's great to see. He is loved. Yeah, it's interesting after Jimmy did say recently that like he's not as happy at Wrexham at the moment because he's not getting the minutes he wants. And that does eventually happen to all players. But it's nice to see him stepping up and being part of the team again and playing really well. Like there is some players that are basically at their ceiling. And so be it. That's it. but they are playing their arse off in every match to try and achieve everything they can give and get to their absolute ceiling. And it's great to see. People seemingly love to play for us. They do put their heart into it. It's very rare, I think, that you look at a performance and say, he could have done better. Now, you might say, I would wish he could do better, that he is at his limits, that's as good as he is. But it's rare you actually say they didn't work. They didn't work to their ability. You have bad games and it just doesn't work. But everyone seems to push for Wrexham. I like that.
I mean, I think it's because of Parky's recruitment. He looks for particular personality types that will fight for the badge. I mean, the problem is that when doing recruitment, there is this thing amongst players where you have to choose harmony, squad harmony, or absolute performance. And when you try to go for the absolute performance, you end up trying to look for mercenaries, effectively. And if you try and get mercenary players, they will get you those things, but they won't fight for the badge. And when things aren't looking so good, they're going to be on the out. So,
interesting one to discuss in that respect is Sheffield United. They have a team of very good players, but are they working as a team? It doesn't appear so, does it?
Not really. Well, they did win though today, so.
Yeah, okay, they've had a couple of wins recently, but still, they're getting better.
They are, but a squad full of mercenaries aren't really going to go and fight for the badge in any way. Not in the same way that Sheffield Wednesday did. That is not a squad of mercenaries. Those guys will. They will go down fighting. They will. So.
Yeah. See a lot of Bravos is here saying once we get the stadium closed in on all four sides again, the home dominance will level up even more. I don't know if that's true. Obviously, we want the four sides up and the sound will be better, but we're playing pretty well now at home. That was a good result at home today. If we can keep this going, that's what we want.
That's what we want, especially for that. I mean, the only way that's really gonna have any effect is that you'd have to design the stadium in such a way for where the acoustics hit the pitch in such a way, because you can do that with stadiums where the acoustics just constantly hit the pitch, and it basically drowns out any kind of like let's say you're the opposition, you can't really speak to the rest of your team, and it becomes a distraction in of itself, and you can just hear the crowd constantly. But you also got to have a certain amount of mass of players, because like Birmingham with their newer stadium is going to be much more designed for the acoustics. You need to have a stadium with particular acoustics to be able to just hit the pitch constantly.
Yeah, some people here are saying that the crowd was a bit quiet for the TV, and they didn't sound that loud. Interestingly, though, we were winning, and the crowd does get just a little bit quieter often when you're playing well and doing well. It's when you're kind of under the pump and getting pressured that the crowd usually lifts to give you that bit of noise behind you to go after everything and push. So that's an interesting one in general.
In a sense, you know what's really interesting? The best sides that have like the best crowds are generally like Sunderland or Leeds, but there's only one team that constantly keeps like the noise flow going, and that's Crystal Palace. Because they have a set of ultras. Yeah. And they just keep the noise going, and they remind everyone that you've got to make sure you keep cheering. So we may need to do something like that just to make sure we keep the noise going constantly.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I don't think, from what I've heard, the club is kind of actively trying to have a ultras group together in the same area. There's been a lot of discussion about what fans are going to be moving into the COP and what ones aren't, and choices about your seating and stuff like this. And maybe they should be kind of trying to build a group of fans who are going to be at every single match, who actually kind of want to be in a particular spot, and work with them. You can do that as well. One thing I did notice tonight that I thought was quite nice was when we were playing a bit of the head tennis and the crowd was interacting with each time the ball was headed. That was fun. That was nice to see tonight.
I mean, that's typical English football, though. So where everyone's like, "Hey, hey,
Hey.
and then the opposition gets it, you just boo them.
We have a guest. Look who it is. Hey.
And you thought you were above us.
And I thought we had you. Yeah.
We were for a bit, and then you had to ruin everything, didn't you?
Well, that's the Birmingham way. We like to ruin things. Ruined my eyes tonight watching that. Christ. That was not good.
Look, you got something out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. A point was probably a deserved result. I don't think either side deserved to win the game, but I mean, the first half was probably as bad as I think I've seen us play all season. We were just so passive, and then second half, from about 60 minutes, we seemed to wake up, but we weren't brilliant. It was, I think I said it earlier. It's like watching prime Barcelona at home and watching an average Sunderland side away. That's how it looks like watching Birmingham this season. It's just mad.
Yeah. So I said earlier, John, I'm starting to think that the two of us are going to end up in the playoffs.
Be nice, wouldn't it? I don't know. I don't tend to get carried away too much. I look at the sort of the top end, and I look at Ipswich and Southampton and that, and suddenly the playoff positions get smaller and smaller. So I don't know.
So let me ask you this. If we both end up in the playoffs, do you want to play us?
I have no issues playing you guys whatsoever, no.
I knew to say that. You're on our show. Don't be an ass. Say you want to avoid us.
I'm not going to lie. You know.
We will take the fight to you. Don't worry.
I'd be more. The thing that I think we struggle with is when we play against another good footballing side, as in possession-based side. We don't quite know what to do. We kind of fight over possession and forget what we're trying to do. The more sort of, the way that Parkinson plays, and I think that suits us more because you kind of allow us to have the ball, which we prefer. So it's when we have to fight for possession and win the 50-50s in the midfield, and the possession's like a 50-49 sort of thing. That's where we struggle.
Yeah. The thing is, with us, we can play like very low block, counter attacking on the transition type football, but we can also play possession. So it's becoming much more routine for our side now. So
it is. I thought you played more possession against us in the game at your place earlier in the season, where I actually think it was your downfall, because when you did that, we had more joy and we got back into the game and scored. I think when you went more direct, ironically, you caused us more problems.
Yeah. Now, some interesting comments here. Some people are very positive about us versus you. Tom Evans, we couldn't be any more different than Birmingham. I would say we are stronger than them this season. We've definitely caught up now.
Tom's been drinking this evening, I see.
Big words.
I do disagree with Tom on this one, though. So.
Oh. Brian Burton, wait until we sign more players in January. John, it'll be interesting to see what happens in January with our two teams, actually, because we certainly have the money to spend if they choose to do so. So that'll be an interesting one to see what decisions are made there.
I think ours actually depends more on outgoings. I don't think. I think there's a perception around. I think the league that Birmingham will spend loads of money. I actually don't think we will. I think we're maxed out squad wise, and we're quite. I believe we're quite high on the wage budget. So I think
sure you are.
Unless sort of like Dykes goes out, a few of the fringe players which can't get any minutes, they need to go out first before we bring any in. But obviously, if they do go, yes, we will spend.
Yeah, you got a massive squad, so.
Yeah.
We are going to spend January. We need some more players. We're not at the depth level that you guys are at. That's for sure. Do you know what? I think there's a couple of your players we could take and make use of. So maybe we'll do deals in January.
Well, you can have Lyndon Dykes. I'll book the Uber now.
Do you know what? No, be careful. Be careful what you say. There's lots of people that have turned around and said, we'll put him in a taxi and drive him there for you or get him to you, including one Kiefer Moore.
Out of interest, which fringe players of ours would you take then?
I don't know. I'd have to look into it. You've plenty of good players. Yeah.
I'll take Iwata.
You mean our mercurial right back these days?
Yeah, I mean he's good on right back though. That's the thing.
I'll be honest. He usually tonight he was poor, and he got booked, and now he's suspended for Monday night. So, but yeah, he has been a revelation at right back.
So. I mean, it's because you're playing away. Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah,
you've got to play low blocks. You got to just play low blocks sometimes.
John, help us out with this one because you're a little bit more familiar with all the teams. Brian Burton is asking, outside of the parachute teams and Birmingham, what other clubs have the free cash to best Wrexham in the market in January? So who would have the money to spend big if they chose to do so?
I think Norwich have money to spend. Whether they can actually spend it on anyone decent is a different matter, but that I believe from the
they're fighting for relegation, so I don't really care.
Yeah. So, but they do have big money.
Have money, okay.
They have money to spend.
Leicester does as well, but they can't spend anything.
Well, I think they've kind of just chosen not to really a little bit because they know they're getting penalties most likely. So let's see where they are.
Ipswich, Southampton.
Yeah, it kind of depends on the business. I mean, the team you play tonight, Bristol, they're not shy of spending a bit, so I expect them to spend a bit. It won't be like silly money, but they'll spend a bit. And then it always depends on who sells. You might get Millwall who sell one of their better players for 10+ million, and then they'll go in the market. So it's not necessarily who has money now, it's who potentially might come into a bit of money in January, because there will be somebody big that gets sold in the Championship, potentially to a Premier. A Crystal Palace might take a punt on a young 20-year-old out of the Championship and pay big money for them, for example. So there'll be some money floating around, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Palace tends to do that. They go after Championship players, they do.
I think... I'll be honest, I think it's one of the main reasons why we had Cae Ras sign a new contract last week is because obviously I think Gurhey will probably leave Palace in the January window, and somebody like Clara will be on the list of somebody like a Palace, somebody like that. So I think there'll
I don't think he will want to. I don't think Gay will want to go. I know he said he wants to go, but you only need to look at the mess that is Liverpool as right now. They just lost to PSV.
Well, I think there's more teams in for him than Liverpool. But yeah, I get your point.
Okay. Food Bunker has a question here. How much money can we actually spend without breaking the financial rules? A shit ton is the answer here. We actually have quite a significant amount of room if we wanted to go crazy before we would actually be worrying about it, because with the way you divide it up over the contract length, which is anywhere from 3, 4, 5 seasons before you have to pay it all back, we would have a lot. Like I certainly think if we wanted to, we could spend another 30 million in January. Will they? Probably not. Maybe 15 million, closer to 20, depending on players that are available. But financially, for the rules, yes, we could spend a lot of money before we're tying it up. What would happen is, because we are just building up to that high level, it's not this year is the problem. We can spend as much as we want now, but what you may end up doing is tying yourself for the next couple of seasons. You will have less then, because you have a portion this season, a portion next season, a portion the season after. And as we keep spending in each window, it's going to then start getting tighter and tighter. But we have a lot of leeway at the moment. So that's fine. So, yeah. Okay. What am I missing here? People are talking about Macca again.
There's some people saying, we're going to sign Kabore in January.
We might, actually. We'll see. Okay, here's a question for you, John.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Kabore. He's looked good so far in what we've seen. He has made us stronger. He is on loan for us. Now that he's gotten himself injured with an injury that is known to be about 20 to 30% recurring for anybody who has got it, what do you think about us buying him in January, coming back off injury at a cheaper price because he has been injured?
What's his injury? Is it hamstring?
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I would stay away like the plague.
Okay.
Personally, he reminds me very much of Ethan Laird for us. Obviously, we weren't in a position because old ownership, we had no money. So Laird was was a cheap deal, but you know, he's got hamstrings for biscuits for hamstrings even. I just worry about a wing back or a full back who is a up and down the line who has hamstring injuries. I think if you're a Charlton, for example, you take the risk. If you've got budget and you've got money and you're thinking further ahead, I think you're looking for somebody a little bit more consistent, that, you know, you're not, every time he walks onto the pitch, you're not sat there thinking every time he sprints at the line, could that be the last, you know, moment in the game, and is his hamstring going to go?
One reason why I would potentially say yes is because we need two of them. We need two Kabores, not one. So in the event that if we do take Kabore now, he could very easily become our second for the next season or two as well. Because we're going to need both left and right backs. We need two. So Kakache on the left, he has fitness injury problems. He seems to be a little bit injury prone since he came to us. He hasn't made it back yet from his last injury. So that's our two, one on each side. But we need another one as well. So that's kind of why I would potentially go for him at the right price, because we don't have that depth yet. So I would take him and still be looking for a second. We need someone to fight with him for that position as well.
I think the other thing to factor in as well, I mean, albeit be hamstrings, to sort of counteract what I just said, is he's not played in professional English football before, has it? It's the first time he's played professional. Yeah. So he's played in European leagues. The Championship is a brutal league, especially if you're a wing back. You know, it's probably a lot of pressure on those hamstrings, which he's probably never experienced before. And if he's an explosive player, which he looks like he is, getting up and down the, you know, he's you know, it takes time to adjust.
Are we talking about Kabore or Kakache?
Kakache. Oh
yeah, Kakache.
Were you?
Because
Kakache. Yeah.
Kakache, because he played in Serie A, because that's his.
Yeah,
they
I was talking about Kabore. Sorry.
Oh no, Kabore's played in. He's played in the Premier League. Yes.
Did he?
Yeah, at Luton. At Luton.
Okay. Right. Just pivoting a little bit. Tom Evans says, "Do you think we may go back in for Pedro Lima as a loan or as a cheap extra to the squad? Maybe depends what price you can get him at. He didn't go out on loan in the summer, which was interesting, and he was listed as being available for loans. and they never got a deal done for him to go. So yeah, I could see us taking him on loan. Sure. Okay, Food Bunker is saying, I wouldn't mind signing Kabore permanently, but I've also seen some warts in his game that worry me a little bit. Yeah, I don't know if I would describe them that way. I don't think his issues are real negatives, in more so that he needs to improve areas. He hasn't totally linked with the team yet in what he's doing, and the team weren't able to guess what he was doing. That was the problem. He is youthful and energetic, but it also means he's not consistent. He changes his mind on what he's about to do in every situation. He tries multiple different things, which can work in certain scenarios. But if the rest of your team don't know what you're doing, then they can't get on the end of it very easily, which is a bit of a problem for him. And
I was going to say, I think because he's always thinking like he's 3 to 5 steps ahead on certain players.
I don't think so. Not on this one. I agree. His level is quite good in thinking ahead, but my point is more he doesn't make the same choices. So he gets in similar positions and he chooses to do different things constantly, which is okay to kind of stop the opponents knowing what you're going to do, because we've complained about Barney always doing his quick step over, 2 steps and cross. You know exactly what he's going to do. The question is, can you keep up with him? He normally gets just a half a step ahead of you. Whereas Kabore gets in that position and he never does the same thing 2 times in a row. So the rest of the team can't be ready for it, which keeps them maybe a half step behind. I don't think it's that they don't see it coming. It's that they just don't know what he's going to do, which takes time. And that should be able to be adjusted by both sides.
No, go ahead, John.
I was going to say, I think one of the things I noticed when we played you about Kabore was that he's one of those reactive defenders. I thought when we play against him, he gets caught wrong side a lot. So, not ball watching, but, his positional play is not fantastic, but he has the speed or the mobility to usually get himself out of trouble. But I thought, against a pacey or, a tricky winger, they're always going to get their body into positions where he either is, second to the ball or he ends up fouling them. That will go one or two ways. He will either learn that from experience and get better at it, or he won't. But I wouldn't say, every time I've seen him play, I think he looks a solid player. He's a solid championship player. The only thing I would question is, like you said, is the injuries, is whether that's a real factor. And is it then going to be worth the money to buy him? Because, he ain't going to be cheap, is he? Yeah,
it depends on the value, really. But that's kind of the point. He is at that age where it's actually unusual he's still with Man City. Normally they have released players of his age range. So the fact he's still there, they're going to pull the trigger on him soon. And if you have a player coming back from injury like this, who are you going to sell him to? Very few clubs are likely to take a chance on him unless you are offloading cheap, doing a fire sale to get rid of someone. So in which case we are kind of the best option, is to get a reasonable deal for both parties from us. Because I think we like him. So
I think Parky will end up refining him after some time, because he's get used to that kind of player that we want him to play as. Because take into consideration, most of the time he's just been loaned. He has not had any real time to settle into any squad. Yes. He's just been on loan consistently. Never had any time. He's never had any time to get to be spent in the Man City squad. So he's just been on constant loan everywhere he goes.
Which does lead to the sort of problems we're talking about. He has never settled anywhere. He has never gotten consistent games. And these are the problems. Is now he's in a team and he's trying to show off. He's with a new team. He's a young player. He's trying to show everybody how good he is, which is fine. But he needs to settle into a bit of a rhythm. He needs to get into a rhythm with the rest of the team, and then he could be amazing. Yeah, so just talking about Jordan James there, he is on loan to Leicester City. Now, that's because of the comments here. Sorry, guys. I just kind of randomly blurted that out. Here, Brian Burton asked, if Leicester get more than a 12-point deduction, will they consider selling Jordan James to us? Well, they don't own him. He's on loan. Ren have his contract. He did have an opportunity to come to us. We were kind of looking for him, but maybe he was too expensive at the time, or maybe he just didn't choose us because we're a new team to the championship, which is fair enough. You know, Leicester versus us, who would you choose? But if Leicester are kind of hitting a big points deduction, does it really matter to a lone player? I don't know, not really. Unless he helps us get promotion, and we could get promotion and Leicester can't, maybe.
There is a factor that he is a die-hard Cardiff fan as well.
Oh, really? So maybe that's why he didn't want to come with us.
Yeah, he is a die-hard Cardiff fan. Yeah, because his dad's a Cardiff fan.
Oh,
That's an interesting one.
Even though he's about as Welsh as I am. So.
Okay. All right, guys, have we got something else to talk about? Let's swap the subject. Everybody in the chat's talking about players, but that's for January. There'll be plenty of time to hit that up. Let's single some people out. Who had some amazing performances tonight? Habs?
The obvious being Broadhead. He had a great match. Yeah. He was everywhere. He was everywhere where he could be. I think and his defense has actually improved as well. His defensive play.
Yeah,
I think Parky's drilling it. He's starting to get that drilled into him where you got to play defense. You've got to get that defensive play up. So he's starting to look more and more defensive, and he's always keeping that. He's always moving the game forward.
Yeah. Yeah, he did play well tonight, and we did kind of speak on this a little bit earlier as to it does a little bit depend on who we're playing because it's where exactly does he fit. At the moment, it just looks like him and Windass exchanging for each other, and maybe certain teams are better for Broadhead and some are better for Windass. But I do hope in the future we see at some point Windass and Broadhead getting in there together. I would love to see it, and obviously with more, but that's a complete tactical change. I think that ultimately that is what Parky is aiming to do, but can't do it at the moment with the setup we have and the amount of players. So
the other being Thomas and him being the other goal scorer. He had a great game as well. Like there were moments where he was moving the game forward as well, and he was helping out McLean.
Yeah. Thomason again, a mixed bag there. Happy with him in general. Yeah, absolutely. That goal going in off the post was nice. You don't see that every day. No, but we have seen him go in directly, and Lee did it, didn't he? Didn't Lee?
He did. Lee did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have done it. Second time we've done it.
And he didn't need the post to do it in that one. That was nice.
No, he needed the wind instead. So.
Well, that's true. Okay. Someone surprised Ratbone didn't get on for the final 10 minutes. But let's not dive down there because he didn't play ultimately. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have a quick look at the stats for the match because I'm curious to see what FOTMob did tonight.
You research your XG stats. Come on.
They're the worst. They're the worst on the planet. That's what they are.
Okay, so possession tonight, kind of as expected, 48% to us, 52% to Bristol. That's as good as we want it. We definitely don't want them more than 50-50. Just doesn't really work for us. Okay, our second goal tonight went in as own goal by Vitek. Okay.
I mean, it did come off his bum, so.
Yeah. So line up. Let's have a look. Okay, so Broadhead got the highest. What the hell does it say for AO? It says 8 for AO with green, and it says 8 for Broadhead as blue, which is a bit weird.
Blue is usually the man of the match, I think. If you look.
Okay, I saw more than one blue previously, but anyway. Okay, so Broadhead 8, Okonkwo 8. Next up, then we have Longman and Dobson 7.8, Sheaf and Thomason 7.7, and Max as well, actually. McLean 7.6, Moore 7.1, and then Scar at 7, and Hyam at 7. So everybody hit the 7s tonight. That's pretty good. And Dan Scar got it 1 yellow, the only yellow.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
happy with
he needed to get that yellow. So
okay, wings then. McLean. We already mentioned McLean. He did really well. What about Longman tonight, playing on the right? Everybody happy with Longman?
Yeah, it was his natural position. So I mean, you noticed him and Cluworth, the way they work together, the way he works on the right, and the way Cluworth has been passing the ball around in those tricky ways. Like he's improved significantly with the way he does his tricky passing, and he tried to get that pass to Longman. Longman just couldn't keep up with it in terms of speed. But
yeah, and I did mention in the watch along tonight that Cluworth is really starting to look more comfortable. There was one point there where he turned his back to the attacker and held on to the ball, and he actually looked comfortable doing it. Which is something that I haven't really seen from him before. He was actively taking pressure from the other side and was just waiting for a pass to open up. So that he's really starting to look more comfortable than he has previously doing stuff like that. And Michael Wolf is saying here, Max manhandled a guy somewhere. I can't remember exactly which one. Food Bunker is saying Cluworth makes some great runs to help create better passing angles. Hope he can get a goal. Yeah, if he can get a goal at some point, probably ahead on it in the box. But it's not really his job. As long as he keeps doing what he's doing, he's getting the balls to the right places, to the right players. He's absolutely a great member of the team, I think. Is Josh going to come around? Max. Hashtag save Max, yeah. Now, he did mention him tonight, and he did say how good he was, but I think in the back of his mind, he's still, oh.
Did Josh say that?
He did. He gave him a little bit of props today, but I think I said it first, and he agreed.
Have you got a nickname for another player called Max or something?
No. Max, great advert for the academy. Yeah, maybe. But you know what, though? When it's only one kind of player, I don't know that it says it's the academy. It says you got a great player. But we do have a couple of others coming along. But we absolutely need to get on top of our academy. But that's going to take a long time.
Just got to see how Ashfield works out.
Yeah, see how Ashfield is working out, and a couple of other players there as well. That maybe in a year or two certainly might get a shot. Okay, Chris, looks like we've been practicing how to pass and it's finally clicking. We've had a couple of matches where it has looked pretty okay. But again, it's what type of team are you against? And today they are comfortable giving away possession. So it suited us. And it was really interesting to see. So we have to figure out how to do that against some of the faster teams, those that will press us harder. And still manage to do that sort of passing. But we're slowly getting there. We're definitely getting there. And Michael Wolf reminds us, Max is still the only player to start every game.
That's true.
But who do you replace him with? There is no kind of direct like for that position. We have people making do. Okay, we have a final guest maybe. Because things have slowed down in the chat. Everybody's happy. Everybody's gone home maybe a little bit. Although we still have 87 people at least watching live at the moment. That's great. Esteban, how are you?
What's up, beautiful people?
Uh-huh.
How's it
Have you
going?
something to say?
No, just Habs called me out, so I came in. What's up, Habs?
Yeah, what's going on?
Not too much. That was a beautiful watch.
What did you think overall?
I think that was great. I think that Wrexham looked really balanced. I think that's the word I would use today for today's match is balanced. Just not anything fancy going on. Just holding on to the ball. Frustrating them again towards the end of the game. That's the thing I look for is when the other team starts playing frustrated, I know that we're getting under the skin and we're either gonna end up with a draw or we're gonna end up winning. So that's what I was looking for. And about I would say about minute 56, I noticed it. I'm like, oh yeah, they're starting to die. They're starting to play really frustrated. We were dismantling them, and that was beautiful to watch. So yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah, they had their moments in the start of the second half. They were pressuring us for a while, but I agree with you. Once they were pressuring us and couldn't finish it, because they were getting chances, but we were just at the very end closing them down or getting a deflection or getting the ball away, and they kept shouting for the ref to help them out. Ultimately, it became a little bit silly when every single time we touched the ball, they were shouting for handball. Handball, ref, handball, handball.
I
Joke. And I think, yes, at that point, they started to get really upset with how the play was going and it wasn't turning for them. And then we started to come back again and had more chances. But I will say we did miss a lot of goals. And Chris has just put it up here as well.
We did.
A lot of early, easier goals. We really should have been, 2 goals up earlier and maybe 3 before the half. We didn't take our chances. And in other matches, that could potentially have hurt us. I was worried for a while that with that solitary goal, we might end up conceding one late. But a 1-0 win is as good as a 3-0 win at the end of the day. And we got out of the league last year with a lot of 1-0 wins. So, look, if we need to do it again this year, I don't care. I really don't care.
I really hope that that's something that Parky, addresses during training, because we keep seeing that with O'Brien missing shots. Who was it? Longman missed a couple of shots earlier in the season. That seems to be kind of a recurring theme, and I think during the second half of the season, that's not going to serve us well.
Yeah. Comment here for John's attention. Look at this. Skizzy. I don't know who Skizzy is. The Blues fellow on this page should make his own live for Blues. Just saying. And then Chris jumps in, just in case that was slightly negative. We love John here.
Chris coming to my defense. Well, that's a surprise.
We absolutely love John. He's got a purple heart. He's got a red tint going to his heart. So
yeah,
I think the day that we beat Birmingham in the playoffs is the day that he's going to, like Superman, rip off his blue shirt and reveal the red shirt that he's been wearing close to his heart the entire season. So, that's a man can dream, right?
You can dream. You got to get to the playoffs first, lad.
Don't worry, he will start cheering for us like Nathan Jones does, sliding around all over the pitch.
I gotta tell you that honestly, just all jokes aside, I think that's been one of my favorite things about this community is how John has been embraced by the fans. He takes it in the chin every once in a while. We've brought people in from you brought someone in from the Posh community last year, Patty. All that good stuff. So It's all good.
We're
and I
open
love
to
it.
anybody coming in here who's friendly. Simple as
Oh,
that.
hey, what happened?
You're still here. We can hear you.
Hold on.
Got excited.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
On a positive note, I will always happily cheer for you guys whenever you're playing somebody I detest.
Who else do you detest right now?
Oh, there's loads. There's a list and it's long. So
including Tom. He feels sorry for John. At the end of the season, we will be in the playoffs and Brum will miss out. Ooh.
I must commend Tom. He's clearly been on the beer. He's beaten the fate BCFC on the night, and he's getting all uppity. So we'll see at the end of the season. Don't you worry. You know, just remember 19 points below us last season.
Still got promoted. Who cares?
Yeah.
I will say though,
Yeah.
like at the very, very start of this season, we were never ahead of you, were we?
Yeah, I think you were.
Were we?
Yeah. I think it was either in the week 2 or week 3 or something like that. Yeah. I think we've always been, but
Close
there's
enough.
been loads of us that have all been sort of very similar, sort of swapping in and out of places. I think even, to be fair, I think even the Albion fans said going in tonight, it's the first time that they've been behind us in the league this season. So, yeah. Worry about the league table in January, I say.
Here's a comment from Tom again. I'll get John a Wrexham shirt for next season so we can wear it when we play Villa.
I don't. Well, I mean, that's putting me in the most awkward position ever because it's them lot. So
would you not wear our shirt to support us to beat them?
No. I would happily cheer and go. I would happily cheer and go mental if you did beat them, but no, I wouldn't wear your shirt. There's lines you just don't cross.
Sorry, Esteban, you're back. Go on. What are you saying?
Yeah. What happened? What did I say?
No. It was just that we could hear everything you were saying, and you were talking to yourself and saying what the hell is going on, but we could hear you all, so I just put you in the background to sort yourself out.
Oh, there was like you guys were coming in all garbled and like you were sounding like chipmunks.
Yeah, that's fine. Something happened with your headphones or whatever, but we could still hear you. So you were trying to talk and you were talking to yourself.
Sorry about that.
You're okay. Happens. No problem. Someone said gelled again. Are we ever going to not talk about gelling? It seems we have finally gelled. People are going to be saying this in April.
That spelling of gelling is or gelled is a place called is a place in Denmark.
Yeah, gelling. Okay. New players in January would start the process all over again. There you go.
Don't do it to yourself, Mike. Don't. Just leave it alone.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Any other specific topics? Esteban, you were last in. Is there something you want to talk about? Because we are not far off 90 minutes. And I think that's enough for tonight. Because
no, I think you guys do such a beautiful job of just driving this forward and keeping us sane, giving us a platform to talk about this silly ball kicking game that we love. So. And like C-Lord was saying earlier, I think we've all been kind of captivated by the story. Some of us, like I wasn't even a watcher of sports before this. So I really enjoy learning so much from all of you guys. Every week I learn something new from Habs or from John or from you, Patty, and it's been great. So on that bombshell.
There we go. You said it. Take care, everyone. Bye.